What I want to talk about on today's call is the state of marketing, the power of focus, Facebook advertising, the best 3 sales questions, video marketing, the importance of faces.
This call is being recorded.
Today's call for me, guys, is all about the marketing funnel of the future. And as you know, at Curator, we focused on a framework for marketing. We like to keep things simple so that they're actually effective. And for us, it's been all about CAB. C-A-B. Create great content, advertise it on Facebook, blast it by email. And so that framework really gave us, a purpose. What do we do when we hit publish? So many people would publish something and then they wouldn't have a post-publish strategy. And so the idea of CAB is so that people know what to do next. Okay, I created something. Now what do? Oh, I need to advertise it. Okay, now I advertised it. What do? Now I need to blast it through email. And that has been a game changer for ourselves and for tons of our clients. But the marketing funnel of the future is a little bit more diverse. And it's actually something I'm calling CASE. C-A-S-E. You still have to create great content first and foremost. You still have to run great ads. So the C and the A are the same. In fact, the E is the same, which is just email. But the difference in the future for us at Curator is going to be the S. The S is social. So it's content, ads, social, and email. And understanding the differences in how you deploy those things at the top of the funnel, the middle of the funnel, and the bottom of the funnel is really going to be where it's at. But what isn't changing about the funnel of the future is that it all starts with great content. If you do not create great content, then the ads and the blast and the social and the email are a waste of time. The content drives and creates the other buckets. So what I want us to start moving towards on our marketing calls every week is the thing that matters the most is what we publish. Having all of you guys on one call where that's the most beneficial is to brainstorm about what we should publish. Because my brother and Annette and, with the team that we have in place between John and Mike, we're cranking. And so we now have what we call a Curator marketing machine. And once you understand that the machine is there, what you really should spend your time on is what ideas will do the best as a part of this machine. So let me give you guys an example. I want to go through the 3 layers in the funnel of the future and then give you an example of how we would deploy marketing across each layer. And one thing I want you to think about, Mike, as you're listening to this and kind of hearing me out is we want to visualize this. We actually want to turn this into a poster. We want to turn this into a graphic. We want somebody to be able to look at a poster and go, I need to do marketing for the top of the funnel that accomplishes X. Okay, great. I know what to do now. We want this to be a visual guide to what to publish and who to publish it for. So as an example, the top of the funnel, we call that the magic million, right? It's still going to be the magic million. But the way I want you guys to start thinking about like the top of the funnel, the middle of the funnel, and the bottom of the funnel is actually very simple. The magic million, which is the top of the funnel, those are the people that don't know us. The chunky middle, which is the middle of the funnel, those are the people that do know us. And the bottom of the funnel, what we call the sweet spot, those are actually people who have shown intent to buy from us. So I don't want us to overthink this as we go to build the new funnel. The top of the funnel content should be suited towards people who don't know us. The middle is people who do know us. And the bottom is people who have shown intent to buy from us. So it's still the magic million, it's still the chunky middle, and it's still the sweet spot. But the way that we describe those things is very simple. The top of the funnel, those people don't know you exist. The middle of the funnel, they do know you exist. The bottom of the funnel is because they've shown intent to purchase something. Very simple. So as an example, calls is a top of the funnel initiative. even if you don't know me, and even if you don't know Curator, you would enjoy listening to calls. You're going to get advice on sales, on marketing, on leadership. You literally get to listen to me run a fast-growing business. And that is perfect for the top of the funnel. Because if you don't know me and you don't know Curator, you're still going to find value in that content. But the difference is that in the future, the content in the funnel is not just going to be on the hub, right? Like in the past, everybody tries to put everything on their site and then they try to drive everything back. But in the future, a lot of the content will live on the hubs. Will live on the spokes. So as an example, iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio. As an example, YouTube, Facebook. A lot of the content at the magic million level, you can't necessarily beg for people to visit your site. They don't even know you yet. So what you'll see is that even though we put out a show called Calls, a 12 to 15 minute audio show, when we actually promote that through ads and through social, we would do that with snippets. So if it's a 12-minute show, I can't take a 12-minute show, put it in the news feed on Facebook and expect somebody to listen. But I could take a compelling 45 seconds from that show and then get them to click to hear the rest. I can take a graphic with a quote from that show that goes really viral and gets spread all over social, that then also has a call to action to listen to the entire show here. So the content on the Magic Million, it lives on the spokes and it lives on the hubs. And when we post ads and when we post social, when we're going after people that don't know us, we have to post snippets. It's kind of like the trailer, not the movie. It's the movie poster, not the back of the DVD with the full description. When you're targeting people that don't know you, you have to keep that in mind with the marketing that you do. And then if you think about email, like what is top of funnel email? Because in theory, if somebody's at the top of the funnel, you might not even have their email yet. But the concept is simple. When you do a Magic Million email, when you do an email to the top of your funnel, it basically just means that you're not filtering it very much. It means that you're basically sending it to just about everybody. So it's sort of like everybody that won't unsubscribe. So top of the funnel content, stuff like calls, stuff like blog posts that are helpful, Facebook pages worth stalking, stuff like short inspirational video clips where I'm interviewing Gary Keller. Again, people that don't know us would love that content. And then we take that content and we turn it into bite-sized pieces when we do the ads and the social promo. And then we email that content to basically our whole list because it's content, again, that's relevant to all. Now, let me get into the chunky middle. Let me give you guys a difference between the top of the funnel and the middle of the funnel. In the middle of the funnel, we might deploy something more like our Curator culture video because these are people that know we exist, but we want them to start moving down towards the bottom of the funnel. So as you guys know, the Curator culture video, it does live on our sales page, but it also lives on Facebook and it also lives on YouTube. And when you actually do an ad or a social promotion to the people that do know you, because remember, this is the middle now, you can actually start to promote the whole video. You can actually start to promote the full piece of content because these people know you. So when you're at the top of the funnel, you've got to give them like bite-sized teasers or they won't engage with it. But once they know who you are, once they're in your database, once they like your page, once they subscribe to your blog, once they register to attend one of your webinars, like once they know who you are, well, now you don't have to do as much of the snippet stuff. It can be a little bit longer form. It can be the back of the DVD case, not just the front of the DVD case. So the culture video is a perfect example. We put it on our sales page, but we also put it in an MP4 ad on Facebook. We also put it into an ad on YouTube. So the future of the funnels, guys, is definitely still putting stuff on the hub, but also being willing to put it on the spokes and being able to promote it on the spokes and not always being so, I guess, aggressive to get them back to the hub. The last one is the sweet spot. The sweet spot are the people that have shown intention to buy from us. So as an example, Neil's webinars, like when we do a monthly sales webinar, when we do a monthly pitch, that would be the perfect content to show the people at the bottom of the funnel. Because not only do they now know who we are, they've also shown intent to buy. That might be because they visited our testimonials page. That might be because they visited our about page, or they visited our contact page, or they read 5 client testimonials, right? Like when somebody in that middle of the funnel clicks on what we call our money pages, now they're going to be in the bottom of the funnel. So if you come into our world through calls, and then you watch the culture video, and then you click on like an RSVP tab for our upcoming live webinar, that would be somebody working themselves through the funnel. The difference would be that at the bottom of the funnel, you do rely heavily on the hub. You don't want to play on the spokes as much at the bottom of the funnel, meaning the bottom of the funnel is click here to contact sales, click here to download our latest pitch, click here to download our latest case study. Like basically almost everything we'll do at the bottom of the funnel is going to drive them to the website, is going to drive them to a landing page, versus the middle and the top where we'll play on the spokes a little bit more freely. So I said all that to say this. I want to give you guys the takeaways if we get the future funnel correct. The future funnel is about, number one, the impact of social. So remember, the old funnel was just create, advertise, blast. Well, with Annette coming on board, we're doing more things on Instagram and Twitter and LinkedIn and Snapchat and Instagram stories. We're doing more stuff on the spokes on social than we've ever done. Takeaway number one, guys, is that if we get social right, it can become a powerful new layer that helps our business just as much as ads and blasting has. The difference is it's a full-time job. The reason we do ads and emails is because they have a big impact. But what you'll start to notice is that through Stitcher Radio and iHeartRadio and through Twitter and through YouTube and through iTunes and through Instagram and through Snapchat, like if you do all of the kind of other stuff right, it can actually have as big of an impact on your business. Think about a guy like Gary Vee. Gary Vee's not doing a lot of email marketing. Gary Vee is winning because he's got people subscribed in iTunes, and he's got people subscribed in YouTube, and he's got people turning notifications on Instagram. So if we get social right, if we can get the spokes right, it will be as impactful as anything we've ever done. The second thing is smarter audiences and smarter retargeting is now the most important thing for us to focus on besides content. Again, once you get the content right, now you just need to know who to show the content to. So audiences and retargeting is what John is going to be spending all of his time on. He doesn't need to give us ideas for what to publish. He just needs to make sure that when we do targeting, we do it better than we've ever done. There's going to be a big trend in the future funnel where the people you retarget tomorrow, you're doing so because of the activity they did today. So if they watched a video that we put out at the top of the funnel and they watch it for more than 30 seconds, they get moved on. Like real-time retargeting, real-time audience creation, targeting people on Wednesday because of what they did on Facebook on Tuesday is going to become the new normal. The other thing I've learned working with Annette and thinking about the future of the funnels is that you can, the nice thing is that you can create content once and you can distribute it everywhere. But what we're learning is that you do have to tweak it for each individual place that it goes. So as an example, me asking Mike for like a story format, like a vertical format of a quote, of a show, of whatever it may be, that is going to be very normal because you can send the video, the podcast, you can send the blog post, you can actually share that everywhere, but you can't share it everywhere without tweaking it a little bit. Some of that is the size of the image you need. Some of that is the length of the video they allow. Some of that is the format of the interface being vertical or square or rectangle. But the nice thing about the funnel of the future is that if you crush the content, actually reformatting it and distributing it across all social platforms is acceptable. There was a long time in social media where they would say, you know, you shouldn't publish the same stuff on Instagram and Twitter. You shouldn't publish the same stuff on iTunes and Stitcher. You shouldn't publish the same stuff on YouTube as on your site. But there's only so many hours in the day. What people have learned is that if you publish great shit, you can distribute it everywhere, but not without tweaking it first. My last takeaway as I think about the funnel of the future and as I think about our team specifically, when you think about marketing, there is a saying that almost everybody knows, which is content is king, right? Content is king. And that is true. We talked about it on this call. If you nail the content, the other stuff pretty much builds itself. But what's happened is the funnel of the future, like if you're going to be a real marketing machine, if you're going to be a media company, if you're going to crank out top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, and bottom of the funnel content on a consistent and quality basis, guess what becomes the new challenge? The new challenge is actually managing the chaos. It's actually now harder for myself and Steve and Annette and Mike and John. Like, it's harder for us, you guys, to communicate and collaborate than it is to come up with a good idea. It's actually now, because we've been creating content for so long and because we've done really well, we know what to create. So the new challenge for our team and the new challenge for any marketer who wants to build the funnel of the future that has all these different kinds of content and all these different layers and all these different tools that are required to deploy that stuff, communication and collaboration are now king too, not just content. So our team's ability to win for the rest of this year is not going to be as much about the ideas we deploy. It will be around the communication and the collaboration on executing those ideas. That's what the future funnel looks like. Hopefully you guys got some great takeaways on my part of the call. Thank you. Hey, this is Chris. Thanks for listening to my call. If you enjoyed the call, please subscribe right now. Also, share the episode and use the hashtag #CallsWithChris. Every week, I choose a few people randomly to win a free signed copy of the conversion code, my USA Today best-selling book. You can also visit Curaytor.com. That's Curaytor.com to learn more about my company, which is the one I'm running during these calls. We help small businesses grow faster, and we've been featured recently by Inc., Forbes, Fortune, and Entrepreneur Magazine.